Hey guys, welcome to episode 19 of the weekly World Cup edition. And thank you for joining me. Apologize, there was no show last week. I was out at E3. And as you see, I'm all by myself right now, but I will be joined by my fellow co-host. Warren said he is joining a bit late. And right now, Sam's internet is down and Juan might not make it. So let me put on my pop filter first. Apologize. Cool. Can you guys hear me? I'm getting audio here. Hello? Okay. Let me know if you guys have audio. Just tell me because right now it says I have audio and I don't know if there's anything wrong. Ronald, you might want to increase your volume. Okay, yeah, I have audio. Okay, cool. All right, guys, let us kick off the show. Yeah, I have no use listeners for the week right now. So if you guys have any, let me know. And today is World Cup, so support Nigeria because I'm supporting Nigeria. As you can see, I'm wearing my Nigerian jersey, but that's besides the point. Let's start off with the first topic here. So I'm gonna chime with you guys here. AT&T completes its $85 billion Time Warner acquisition. There was a hearing this week by a judge to see if this deal should go through. And it did, and in a couple of days, AT&T basically finalized that deal. Now, just to give you some details on there, AT&T Communications provides broadband video communication services in the U.S. for nearly 3.5 companies, from the smallest business, Fortune 500, and Fortune 1000 businesses. AT&T Media Business consists of now HBO, Turner, Warner Brothers, together with businesses, have revenue of over $31 billion. So that segment of Warner is about $31 billion in just revenue alone. AT&T International Business provides services in Mexico to consumers and businesses, plus pay TV across 11 countries in South America and the Caribbean, which is valued at $8 billion. Hey, what's up, Sam? I can't hear you. No audio.
How is this?
I can hear you now.
All right.
So Sam said he had internet issues. Sam was just watching the match. Sam was watching Peru versus Denmark. That's just what it was.
Wasn't watching them. I wish I was. Unfortunately, my TV is connected via my internet. So,
are you tethered right now? Is that what it is?
No, I restarted my PC, restarted my router, and I just kept on refreshing. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching the match. Technically, I can see it right here. I have an angle to the match right here. It's all good. But we started the show off talking about AT&T's acquisition. They call it merger, but it's acquisition of Time Warner. Yeah. And I want to get your thoughts because right now AT&T now has a massive media conglomerate tied to it. You've got the whole of Warner Brothers now. So a lot of people out there were talking about the superhero movies. Yes, that's one part. But Warner Brothers as a studio has a lot of franchises and material that they have. Plus you have HBO. You have Time Warner, the TNT, Turner Classic Movies, that whole stuff in there.
HBO is part of that package, right?
HBO is part of the package, yeah. So how do you see that? Like right now, Fat Percy says just what we need, more consolidated megacorps.
Yeah, that's the worry, right? Not to get too far into politics, but at the start of this administration, there was an expression of dislike for these mega kind of mergers. Right, but all of a sudden now, this has literally opened the floodgates because the whole idea of preventing the monopoly is basically saying companies who do about the same thing shouldn't just basically gobble up each other to basically remove competition from the market. And it seems as though that's no longer valid. Now it's a free for all now. I think the biggest news out of this was the fact that it basically emboldened Comcast to go out and offer 65 billion
for Fox.
For Fox. So it's a signal that we're going to see more and more mergers. We're going to see companies going out there and saying, hey, we might not be able to compete, but right now we have a bigger war chest, so we might as well just buy the competition. It's a little troubling. But for the AT&T Time Warner, from a consumer point of view, I don't think at the end of the day it's going to be a significant increase in your in your billing or whatnot. It might even be for some AT&T customers. It might be a good thing that they're now getting content directly from AT&T. But I wonder if this content would tie them into AT&T and misuse that consumer trust. It's a very anomalous thing that's going on right now.
I mean, yeah, that's very true. I think one of the things that AT&T, so AT&T has been pushing Time Warner content already from last year. Once they announced the merger acquisition,
They give you a free month of HBO Go, right?
Yeah, they were offering HBO Go. They already, they did cross promotion for Justice League. Yeah, we know how that movie was, but they did cross promotion at AT&T stores for Justice League, which already showed that they were taking their licenses seriously. And I think at least on one hand, you could say AT&T might have the right idea to use some of these franchises. They probably looked at Disney and said, okay, if Disney's making this much money from there, let's try and do that. But the other hand, there's that big worry, like you said, of mega corporations. We just finished a recession, a very deep recession that happened because of not necessarily because of mega corporations, but there were mega corporations.
Yeah, but the idea of too big to fail.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. Too big to fail is the thing. And what happened with a company like AT&T, where if it runs through some issues, how does that affect its workers, down the line? Like I said, right now, you're probably not going to see any effects from it. You're probably actually going to see some benefits initially because as an AT&T customer, you're going to be getting, first access to, the Warner Brothers titles that are coming out and, HBO and stuff like that. But down the line, does your bill go up? Maybe not. The reasoning why the bill may not go up in this
for AT&T members, maybe the bill don't go up, but I think the concern is that for non-AT&T members, it becomes a get on the AT&T network, or we will have to increase the cost of you getting HBO, the cost of you getting all these other channels.
See, I don't think that's the case. The reason I say that is because I look at it because the whole Time Warner side of business is very ancillary and different in a sense from the telecom. The only benefit is, of course, if you're a streaming customer, then it's beneficial to do that because you get a bundle package or a slightly cheaper price for those other services. So I think, and again, also since both services don't necessarily require each other to run, in a sense.
Yeah, but don't forget that the distribution of these channels is now going to be owned by AT&T. So if you're on Comcast and AT&T is having a spat with Comcast and says, you know what? HBO currently costs you X amount of dollars to basically broadcast on your network. We're going to double that. If you don't like it, forget it. We'll just tell people we have internet service over at AT&T. They can always come over here and get HBO for free.
I mean, that is very possible. But then
it leads. I don't say that's what's going to happen, but the possibility of that happening is a little disturbing.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, but I think also again it has to work out. They have to work out with all the especially the deals. HBO has set up a lot of streaming deals right now. They have those with Hulu, they have it with Apple, they have it with Comcast too. By the way, where you can attach it for a smaller amount of money if you do the streaming side of things. So we'll have to wait and see. So far, the people have. I think the industry is taking this with a little bit of stride. So we'll see. So Fat Purdy says, I just wish that T-Mobile had a better coverage in Ozarks. Yeah. Well, it's switched back. Verizon and AT&T networks are the only real options. Sorry, man.
Apparently, the Ozarks is where money launderers go with your family to.
Yeah. Hey, Fat Purdy's.
Yeah,
what do you really do over there? What's your real occupation over there in the Ozarks? Just saying. Just trying to find out, man. Trying to find out. All right, let's move.
If you haven't seen that Netflix show, you should check it out. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty dope. Give me 1 second. So our next topic is the brand new Vivo Nex S. Basically, the device that everyone has been trying to do. And Vivo says, you know what? Forget all of you. We're going to just do this ourselves. And let me just share my image here with you guys so you guys can see. Hopefully sharing works properly. You all know how this can be. Boom. Here it is. The all-screen phone, 90% screen to body ratio. No stupid notch. That's right. Look at that right there. The top bezel. Look at that freshness. Super clean.
No, but the front-facing cameras. The cameras of the front-facing nature. Where did they go?
Bam! Right there.
Oh my God! You could do that on a phone?
It's a pop-up. Yep, that's right. And the fingerprint sensor is underneath the screen. Vivo is like, look, you know what? I gotta commend them though. Whether it works fully well or not, because I haven't tried it. You know, I don't have access to the device yet, but I gotta commend them because right now they have produced the best device this year in terms of pulling all the feats that everybody has tried to do. They didn't do the notch. They also stuck with the fingerprint sensor underneath. And
this is a clear rebuttal of the arguments that you need the unibrow in order to, you know, get that screen ratio to be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah,
you know, it's man. You know, man, when people decide to copy bad design, man, that's what happens. When people decide to copy bad design.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
these
true.
guys coming out and saying you don't have
look who showed up.
Hey guys.
Whoa, Mr. Juan Carlos Magnel.
So I just picked up my folks from the airport. They're in town for Father's Day shenanigans. So I can't stay for the full show, but I wanted to jump in and join some of this chat, especially about E3 stuff.
Yeah, man, that's right. Go Nigeria. Woo!
Yeah.
Well, and holy crap, Iceland.
Yeah,
who saw that coming?
Yeah, hey, they played a very efficient and tight game. Sorry, guys, I know we're digressing here. It's the World Cup, you know. It's a lot of fun. But we were talking about the Vivo Nex S and how they have come and, like Sam said, a total rebuttal of the notch and saying that you can do everything you want to do technically. It may not work fully or well, but it's a solid representation and start to say fingerprint underneath the screen. Forget that unibrow. And right now, I call it the sexiest phone of this year. That's how I display it.
No, if your bag is getting rid of bezels, again, I think it's a fetish getting the bezel-less device. I don't necessarily believe phones are immersive, but if your design language is let's move towards this, do it right. Don't cut into the display with a distracting element. I don't cotton to this idea that the notch somehow gives us more usable screen when we're actively cutting into part of the screen. So if we're going to do it right. And I think Vivo has shown us there are other ideas you can entertain to make the all screen phone.
That's true, man. I mean, I'm impressed. They've got two variants, the S and the A. S has a 845. A is a 700 series processor. So
that was the first one with the 710. Is that?
Yeah, 710. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's dope. You know, we just have to see how well all those things work. If the fingerprint sensor underneath the screen is faster. The first Viewer device, I did a video on that. It wasn't slow. It was just like you could say one generation behind the current speeds that we have now. So it was very useful.
Isn't bad at all for a first proof of concept for that style of fingerprint. Because it's a full fingerprint area. It's not just one little sensor under the screen, right? It's not like you have to aim for the home button.
It's not a big area though. So I mean, the first generation was kind of like this as an area, maybe a little more. They're talking about it being a little wider now, kind of like that. And
let this be a warning to Samsung that if you don't have a fingerprint sensor underneath the Note 9, I will not be happy with you.
It's not coming out in Note 9.
Hey, don't give them ideas of denying me. Don't give them any ideas.
I'm just telling you what it is. It's coming on the 10.
You better have it.
Because the rumors for Samsung is they want that whole bottom section to be a fingerprint sensor. Cool. So you don't want it to. You just want you to put your hand there.
I mean, this is again, it's the wild speculation side of any type of smartphone coverage like this. But I'm kind of with Sam. I want the Note to feel special again.
I didn't say I didn't want it to feel special.
Give me a pop-out camera. Yeah. You know, give me a pop-out camera.
No, I want the camera to do this. Like it pops out and just flies up in the air and takes me selfies from different angles.
I do a 360 around here and then go back in. Okay.
And then come back in.
I'm pretty sure DJI is working on that very accessory as we speak.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, why can't Vivo do this and Oppo, OnePlus aim themselves at a notch? They are under the same mother company.
Well, but that's just it. They're under the same umbrella, and we know that they're sharing a lot of parts and pieces. But it's kind of like saying, why can't I get all of the best stuff in in a high-end sports car in my little Volkswagen? They're all under the Volkswagen umbrella. I should be able to get that. There are different design teams within each of these different companies, and there are different focuses for what they're trying to achieve. So this, like Vivo, suddenly, like out of nowhere, becoming not their skunk works, but like their bleeding edge design.
Let's call it what it is. Your skunk works. They started that under display first, so yeah, they've kind of taken that role.
And it's also the idea that the people who, the Oppos and the Xiaomi's of the world are looking at, or the OnePluses of the world are trying to get. They're probably people who still see the design aesthetics of an iPhone or iPhone X, and it appeals to them, right? So you don't want to design away from what's popular. But the problem is, yes, the notch was popular, but they shouldn't have adopted it in the first place. They gave in to consumer, or to the perceived consumer need for this notch, or the consumer value for the notch and the screen area, versus just doing stuff differently when they actually could do it differently. And they've proven that with the Vivo.
Well, and I think, Sam, to your point too, and because I completely agree with you, it's refreshing that there is one design team in this Oppo mega corporation that was given the license, was given the leash to go out and try and do something disruptive towards this trend. I feel a lot of companies, in trying to minimize bezel, looked at Apple's solution and saw that Apple was doing it. So we know that Apple's solution is going to sell well because it's Apple, and went ahead and just went with the same implementation and the same solution. And I think that's lazy design, in addition to it being kind of an eyesore. So it's like you're saying, I'm really excited to see companies finding other novel solutions for solving the same problem.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and we just have to wait to see how well it performs and how good the device is. But I'm happy that Vivo is doing this, and it looks like Xiaomi is going to be coming up with a device also similar, at least according to the rumors, the Xiaomi X. So.
And of course, because I brought up cars, now the chat's derailed with car comparisons between an Audi A3 and a GTI.
And a GTI. I mean, basically, just in performance-wise, there's really.
I love you because it's really easy to sidetrack us on comparisons.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
totally look, binary kind of thought.
You can do this. You can do this with the low-end Lexus is an Avalon. That's the exact same car, So right. You can go on, guys, if you want to do that. All right, let's move on to E3. This was the show. This past week, we had, of course, big announcements from Microsoft, from Sony, from Nintendo, third-party players like EA and Ubisoft. So takeaways. I'll start off with you, Sam, since you were not there. So what was your takeaway from E3? What did you like? What didn't you like? All that stuff in there.
I was actually very pleased at the gameplay for Anthem. I was really, really skeptical that Anthem was actually going to have gameplay this time around. And the fact that we're like 4 minutes of gameplay and they actually explain what's going on in Anthem. To me, yes, Anthem does seem like a Destiny reboot.
Wait. Let's not call it Destiny.
I'm saying it feels that way.
No, wait. Destiny is trash.
No, Destiny. So my joke wasn't going to be quite as brutal. I was going to say, Sam, doesn't Destiny kind of need a reboot?
Yeah. But you see, the thing is, remember when Destiny was announced and everyone was saying, oh, it's going to be like playing an MMO, but you're going to have it for the console because these characters are going to be totally unique, and this character is going to play differently and all this.
Hey, remember stuff. How that happened with us?
Yeah, it didn't really work out that well. But this game seems to have very different play styles for each of the different javelins. And I actually like that. That really stood out to me. I'm like, okay, they seem to be doing it right. So maybe taking these developers off of Mass Effect and putting them on Anthem might not have been the worst thing to have happened. If they can redeem themselves, that would be great. Apart from that, Last of Us, That was a beautiful, beautiful trailer, man. Yeah. I really enjoyed the trailer. It was like watching a movie.
All the fighting about the gameplay, if it's actually gameplay or not, in The Last of Us.
That's what I like about it. That's what I like so much about it. I'm like, this feels like gameplay in this section, but no, it can't be gameplay.
No, it's not that, because another developer like literally they deleted the tweet, but they came out there like, this shit is not gameplay. So Last of Us guys were like, it is, but nobody has actually played the game. So which is why.
No, that's what it comes out that it's actually, because I don't see why it couldn't be gameplay. It's not like the graphics were so good that it could
no, it's not that. It's the cuts. There's some cuts in there that are they're I
think it was a mix of gameplay and cutscenes, and it flowed really well. That's why I really liked it.
I can tell you it wasn't, because the way cutscenes work in Last of Us, just like every other Sony game, is it's this transition in. And then the character stops. There were cuts. There were cuts in her dodging an arrow.
How do you explain when she grabs an arrow and it adds 1 to her arrow pack, to her number of arrows?
Those were cut ins. No, to me, I'm not saying that it wasn't necessarily gameplay. I'm saying that Dave, I watched it live and I was like,
there is so much to talk about at E3. I don't know that we want to get into the Last of Us controversy. This is not even a good controversy.
I know. I personally just think it was a really beautiful trailer.
It was.
The last one I would mention. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. No, you go ahead, Sam.
No, the last one I'll mention is Death Stranding, man. Yes, I think everyone has the same feeling watching the trailer. It's like, this is cool, but what the fuck is this thing? So that's basically where I would leave that. Those are the 3 that stood out for me.
Juan, how about you?
So it wasn't so much that any specifics really stood out. I mean, I covered the show for Newegg, so I was more in interviews. I didn't get to spend as much time on the show floor. I really only went hands-on with a couple titles. So, I mean, I was really happy to get some web slinging on with the new Spider-Man game. It looks awesome. I'm super stoked to hear my buddy, Yuri Lowenthal, is the voice of Spider-Man. But one of the major trends that I'm happy about, especially being more of a campaign and story gamer, is how many developers were out there talking about world building and world consequences and narrative within multiplayer environments. So when Anthem is saying like, they're trying to make the comparison by not making the comparison that they're not Destiny, and that they're talking about having a hub where more story driven and narrative content can live. And then spending time with what's the name of the developer that's doing Dying Light 2?
Ooh, yeah.
Did you get to see the Dying Light 2 demo?
Oh yeah, I did. I love Dying Light 1. That was on point.
Dying Light 1 was awesome, especially for that day to night transition. It's a very I Am Legend kind of feel. The consequences engine is something I don't think I've ever seen attempted to this degree, where every choice you make doesn't just affect your character standing in a community in a binary way. Like, this is the good choice and this is the evil choice. And then your armor changes color by the end of the game. And if you're bad, your armor is black. It was incredible watching them practically demonstrate, if you help these bad guys take over a water tower, it totally changes the landscape of the world around that water tower. That's crazy ambitious. I mean, there's so much room for awesome failure with that, but I'm so excited because that is a narrative and story driven element. So I think with so many companies falling into the bandwagon on Battle Royale, it's really refreshing to see the developers that are pulling out and trying to do something for us campaign players and story players. The other game that really stood out for me was how surprising an announcement it was to get Control. Sam Lake, the creative team behind Max Payne and Alan Wake, coming out of nowhere. Like, to be able to almost finish a game with practically zero leaks. We knew they were working on something, but we didn't know when they were going to announce. We didn't know what they were going to announce.
I've lost faith in them after Quantum Break, man. I really lost faith.
I totally appreciate that.
I don't think Quantum Break was as much of a flop as people say it was.
But no, it's not a flop. They broke their own mechanics.
Oh, they totally did. I don't think anyone's going to argue with you too much about, because they also kind of soured some of their fan sentiment with putting out information too early on Alan Wake. And then Alan Wake shipped, and it wasn't the experience that they originally started talking about. Yeah. This was actually one of the best things that I've gotten to do with Newegg yet, where I got to sit down with Sam Lake at Remedy, and he talked to us for like 20 minutes. And he acknowledged like some of those issues. And I think this is exactly why we've seen this strategy where Control is coming out with almost no pre-conversation. The game is almost done. It's going to ship early next year. They're not teasing us with stuff that they're not over promising and under delivering. And with the Max Payne games, they've earned at least a major flub from me. Alan Wake wasn't what they promised us, but it was still an interesting and engaging gaming experience. I'm really anxious to see what they do with Control. I think it's a novel story. It's an original IP. It's built on game mechanics that I think they can deliver this time. And their narratives are always beautiful. So the stories are always captivating. Yeah. So that to me is, again, it's another step towards that. It really stood out to me as one of the more interesting moments, because it's really rare that we get a surprise. Like, you look at the Microsoft announcement and it was just a shotgun blast of all the games that we knew were coming out. Like, there wasn't anything really groundbreaking or earth shattering there. To have someone come out of nowhere and say like, yep, game's almost done, here it is really novel in this current let's leak everything as aggressively as we can climate.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree. Warren, what's up, man?
What's going on?
We're excited here. You're like, yeah, what's going on, man?
I'm just looking at my background. It's like, oh, I got such a mess behind me right now.
Thanks for pointing it out, because I actually wasn't paying attention until now.
Yeah, and I can see shut up. I see your seasonings over there.
It's okay. People know I cook. That's the kitchen right there, guys. That's not seasoning. That's alcohol.
You cook.
Anyway, let's talk. We're talking about E3. We're talking about announcements and things like that. What caught your eye at the show?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
And they showed no gameplay. Zero.
Yeah.
Great teaser trailer. I mean, how lit were you when that teaser trailer ended?
Yeah. I was excited about that.
It's gonna take, what is it, CD Projekt Red? I forgot how their name goes.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red.
CD Projekt Red. It takes them to give everyone the Final Fantasy VII remake they've been asking for the last 15 years.
With tapping into the fan servicey Ready Player One kind of world.
Yeah. And Ready Player One, Deus Ex, all mixed in together.
And the game's gonna come out before that Final Fantasy VII remake. We all know it's going to. If it beats that, if that doesn't kick Square in the butt to kind of push themselves to get that game out, because people are gonna get their futuristic RPG, fix from this game. And if this game comes out before that, not many people are gonna switch over for when it seems like, or a whole new, crew of fans. It's crazy, but that's one that probably caught my eye the most. And besides that, it seems like it was that, and then Nintendo and Smash Ultimate. That's all they talked about. You saw the meme I posted. Pretty much that's all they did.
Oh yeah, Nintendo ran through like games. They're like, we have this, and now here are all the Smash characters.
Smash, yeah. But then they show the cover art for it, and Luigi is not on the cover art. Think whatever happened to Player 2, man?
I didn't even think about it. Wow.
Yeah.
He gets his own game.
Nah, but come on, man. He's nice. I mean, Sam looks kind of pissed.
Listen, remember, he was already pissed in Mario Kart. That side eye was serious. That was like the best gem to find in that game. Was
what else excited you? Any other game announcements excited you at the show?
I did like to see more of The Last of Us. I think that game was still a little bit of ways from that coming out. But that looks pretty good. And the Spider-Man game looks like Spider-Man game that we want to play. Him being Spider-Man, and just that game looks really, really good. They're using, I think it's Mr. Negative's the bad guy in that one, which is kind of a newer one for him comparative to the other villains he's faced. He's relatively new. I think he came in the 90s. But that's cool. They're doing that. I like seeing that. I wish I could say like something from Microsoft. I just can't think of anything because I don't know. Like, I don't know with them right now. I think we've had the rant in some chats about Microsoft, and they're just basically giving up on the Xbox One, but trying to act like they're not. But it's
Well, I mean, I don't know that they're giving up on it. But
they are. They're full giving up on it.
I think Microsoft is throwing a ton of effort towards licensing content, but I think what they're going to. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to try and pivot the Xbox experience and bifurcate it. And I think this is dangerous territory for them. I think they're going to split the Xbox as a physical product of a box that lives under your TV into a more Steam-like experience that there's going to be a lot more Windows compatibility. You could use a small form factor PC. You could use an Xbox. You could move this gaming content anywhere. And that's going to be to the detriment of the actual physical
console, yes.
Yeah.
No, I do agree with you.
Steam tried this, and it didn't work out very well for them.
Yep, Steam tried it from one direction, and I think Microsoft's trying it from the other. Microsoft has a lot more experience in the living room than Steam does.
I still think that, I mean, we know that's the future. Me and Sam had this discussion. Some of it is that, yeah, I mean, in terms of games, they should that they bought studios to try and soften that one. But I think at the end of the day, if somebody, not even them, if somebody can provide a service where I can play any of the games I want anywhere, then that person eventually wins. That's just a long-term game. I do see it as being long. It's like, okay,
yeah, but
2025 type thing. It might be earlier.
Well, they're trying to do that early.
I'm saying that's what it's.
I think they are. I think they have admitted, and they don't want you to see the underlying tone that they've admitted defeat in this race. This jam.
I mean, you shouldn't show it, right?
Yeah, they don't want, but it's arguably they're admitting the defeat. That especially came in last year when they canceled that damn Scalebound game. It pissed everyone off.
Yeah, but Scalebound was bad. I mean, you've seen all the reports on Scalebound how bad it was, that it just had to be canceled.
It's convenient to call it bad when they canceled the game that way instead of trying to fix it to make it better. It's convenient for those reports to come out.
I mean, cancellation. In gaming, you only fix a franchise. You don't fix a new game. It's different. If it's a Mario or Zelda, you just delay till it comes out, right? If it's a brand new franchise, what are you fixing? Nobody's gonna buy it. Then delay it until it's right, until you get it right. They need IP. Who's done that for a new franchise? I'm just saying that for a new franchise.
Well, we don't know when they do that for new franchise because they're smart enough not to say shit. They're smart enough not to say anything about it until the game is ready. They shouldn't have shown a damn thing about that Scalebound if it wasn't ready. They shouldn't have said a thing about it. They should just let it continue to go until it was ready to be done. If they had to scrap and redo and re-break the whole thing over again, yeah, it might cost some money. Yeah, it might something. If they came out and said, listen, this game isn't coming out good, we're going to scrap everything down and we're going to start over again. We're sorry, there's going to be delayed. We don't have an ETA on that. We are going to try to make this game, but we got to do something a little bit better here because what we have right now is a good product. That's going to go a whole long way further.
I don't think so.
That's going to go further than telling your audience, we're just canceling the game. And then everyone goes, and then what the hell you got left for exclusives? What do you got left? What?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that would be the case, but I just think that then again, look, as much as I said this, I had this argument with people at E3. As much as gamers, this is what gaming is all about. Gamers can talk about exclusives and whatever they want. You
mean my argument?
The Last of Us does not sell as well as even The Division. That's just the honest truth. That is the truth. I'm not trying to diss that game.
But you're talking about The Last of Us.
I'm just saying that the games that everybody likes to talk about, like.
But you're talking about comparing a franchise that's had several games behind it with the name Tom Clancy with it against a game that just came out and started. That is an
no, forget The Division. Fine, let's throw Uncharted in there.
Uncharted does sell well.
It does sell well. It does. Yeah, but it's had to get to 5. It has had to get to 5 to sell well. Again,
it started selling well after the
sequels from Uncharted 3.
So
Uncharted 3 was when Uncharted picked up. Like anything else, Juan will tell you after 3 games or 3 years or 3 anything, you get there. The sequels, that's what gamers like. Smash is a sequel. You can call it whatever you want, but Smash is a franchise sequel.
I know, because, and guess what? Smash didn't get big. Just got big on its second game, not its first. Learn your history.
So I'd like
learn your history.
I would like to shift gears here because I'm probably going to have to get going here in just a bit. But I really wanted to. So Microsoft had their Onslaught announcement. There's just like, let's smash you over the head with basically every game that's going to be released, whether or not it's a Microsoft exclusive. I feel like the other juggernaut for announcements over this show floor was Bethesda. And I can't think of another company outside of CD Projekt Red that could get me as excited about future properties with teaser trailers, not showing any actual gameplay, than what we saw for Wolfenstein, for Doom.
I know. I didn't see anything. I was
Fallout
like,
76. I mean, like so many of these pieces, but there did seem to be a takeaway from the show floor of people not hating on, but sort of criticizing or being very concerned about the idea of Fallout as an online collaborative game with like nuking bases and stuff. So I was wondering what your guys' thoughts were on Bethesda in general, and then from what we've seen come out so far on Fallout 76, if this is the right direction to take that franchise. Now we're talking about something that we've been playing. I've been a part of the Fallout universe since I was in high school. So this is kind of a big deal when they change up what a core part of the franchise resembles or how gameplay works in that world.
See, I don't think it's a change. I think it's for people like me. I don't play Fallout. Zero.
My Fallout still on the past.
Yeah, so if there's an online aspect to Fallout that can play new bases, I would definitely check that out as opposed to the main Fallout franchise. Like, I'm not going to play that. I tried playing it and I was like, I can't do this. It's not me. So
he doesn't like actual good games. So
it's too much. There's too much RPG elements in that game.
You can't even play Zelda. And that has like the least amount of RPG.
Zelda is just too much roaming around, man. Forget Zelda. I can't do that. Lord. Give me God of War. I'll play God of War.
And that's the funny part. He just said, "Give me God of War," and he can't play Zelda, but he can play God of War.
Yeah,
have
like,
you played God of War?
I feel our discussion on the topic of Bethesda is getting sidetracked.
Yeah, but like I was saying,
I think 76 is a good. I think it will be a good way for them to branch into online content. I think it's also necessary for a franchise that seems to be staling. It's you were in some kind of bunker, come out and go find your father. You're in some kind of bunker, come out and go find your son. It's like, okay, now it's like, okay, let's go find some nuke keys and nuke people.
Oh! Sorry. The guy from Peru just booted a penalty to the stands.
I just heard my dad downstairs.
Oh my God! Sorry.
No, I think it's a good change. I think it would turn out to be a positive.
Is there soccer on?
It's called the World Cup, man.
Peru's playing, man.
But no, I feel like you guys. So what's that little mini? Because there was Fallout Tactics, because that wasn't like a huge sprawling RPG, and then isn't there some like Fallout mobile base creator?
I think it was
Vaults.
The Vaults.
So,
Yeah, the Vaults.
So I think the Fallout. I'm really kind of nonplussed by the people that are really getting angry, cranky about a different version of Fallout, because I feel like the Fallout universe is large
Fallout
enough.
Shelter.
I really feel like the Fallout universe is big enough and robust enough to handle different genres of game. You know what I mean? Like for what you were saying, E, like if you're not into a huge sprawling time commitment of an RPG, there are still post-apocalyptic wasteland gaming mechanics that would appeal to you, and you could still be brought into the Fallout franchise in a meaningful way. And I would really like to see if they could manage to also include story elements that make you a part of the Fallout canon also. So I get frustrated by gatekeepers that seem to think that there can only be one legitimate option for Fallout, because we've already seen Fallout is flexible enough to support different types of gamers.
Yeah, I agree.
It's gamers, man. They want sequels.
No, they don't even want sequels. They just want updates to the same game with the same play mechanics and pay $60 for it.
Yeah, that's
well, I mean that is a machine to print money.
Is it really a sequel if they don't change anything? They change like one thing.
I thought it was curious, you know, seeing EA try and make noise about FIFA, and it doesn't seem like there's going to be any substantial difference in their
because most people that play those games that are soccer fans hate FIFA. They much rather play Winning 11, but the licensing is the issue.
Yeah.
The only reason that game even sells, and EA loves to sell FIFA and then a FIFA World Cup edition, which has different sets of licensing of different teams inside of it. But the game has the same gameplay mechanics. So you're buying you're buying essentially an update pack to one game that you can't actually mesh together. Because
EA said FIFA is free for the World Cup, so if you want to play, just play it.
With loot boxes, good luck. Have you not seen people just sit there and do loot boxes?
I mean, you really don't need loot box for FIFA. As much as they tried, it doesn't even work because you have to play with your starting 11 team, and that's it.
So I think Anthem announced that they're not going to have loot boxes. Who else announced it? There were a couple other people who announced they were never going to have loot boxes. Division 2 is not going to have loot boxes.
Yeah, no loot boxes. Yeah.
And also, Division's the expansion packs are all free, which is freaking amazing. Cyberpunk announced, so basically CD Projekt Red announced they're not going to have loot boxes as well. That's amazing. It's amazing that finally people are moving away from loot boxes. So I think that's another big announcement out of it.
It's good to hear that. And eventually, I'm wondering if eventually it's going to start. There's going to be some legal action against those boxes. And I think some companies are being genuine. I think some companies are getting ahead and getting away from it, so they're not too enthralled into that. So that their whatever gaming ecosystem they make isn't too geared around the sort of the loot box ecosystem. So it's good to hear that. EA won't do anything until they get wrecked by either sales or some law wrecks it, and then they'll go back and try again and make up something else. Here's stuffed barrels. Barrels.
Yeah, they'll probably pull something like that. And also, I feel like we've probably glazed over what was likely the most important gaming announcement in all of our lives. The return of the Command and Conquer franchise as a mobile game with abbreviated gameplay mechanics and probably some sort of pay-to-win system. I really feel like this is going to be an amazing addition to the Command and Conquer franchise. And
can I tell you how the reaction for that franchise was at EA's play area?
I felt so bad for the shoutcaster they had.
There was Anthem over there. Lots of people lining up. There were people lining up to check out Battlefield. Even Real Racer 3, which is old. There were people lining up to play that. And then there was Command and Conquer, and there were like 3 people there. We were like, ooh.
So is it like the Nokia N-Gage booth?
Kind of, yeah.
Well,
don't touch that.
I'm such a huge fan of Command and Conquer. It's like it was one of those games that I used to get really bad, grindy on, and I can't think of another. Like EA just seems to be this place where studios and franchises go to die. That I wanted
Red
something
Alert
so much more.
Shit, man.
What's that?
Red Alert and Red Alert 2. Remember the cast members for Red Alert? With a bunch of them were from Babylon 5.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome, man. Those games were awesome. Those games were really.
It's so good.
In action.
It's in the game.
So I'm still registered for the pre-release. That my buddy Andrew at That Produce actually got it, and he tried to ship me over the APK so I could play it too. But that
for Command and Conquer.
Yeah, and so
Andrew,
I'll probably,
yo, I'm right here, bro.
No, it doesn't work. So because it's that early alpha pre-release thing on Google, it locks it down to only the account that was approved for being part of the pre-release. So unfortunately, I couldn't. I'm still going to stream some gameplay from it because I'm just curious to see what it does. But the game so finding out Command and Conquer was going to become a stripped down mobile game actually encouraged me to just go look and see what other newer RTS titles are out there. And if you want what like the spiritual successor to a Command and Conquer, some of the people who were a part of Westwood formed a whole new game studio, and they've just released it. It's early access on Steam right now. It's a $20 game, Forged Battalion, and it's like a homecoming. It's like bringing me right back to old school Command and Conquer RTS. So
Forge Battalion.
Forge Battalion, $20. There are some bugs. This is early access. One of the things that's really pissing me off is, how chaotic RTS gaming gets. And just as I'm trying to select units to go and kill, tooltips and pop-ups will block my screen from dropping my cursor. You're like, well, this is why I'm dying. But there's an amazing tech tree. All of the individual little units and upgrades, base construction, it's right in, and it's $20. So
on PC?
For PC, yeah.
Okay. Steam.
I don't think you'd ever want to play an RTS on a controller.
No, there was mobile for a second.
Oh, no. I mean, like, I wanted to come back to something legit. So the only thing I can credit EA for shifting Command and Conquer into a mobile game is it convinced me to go and look for a real RTS, and I managed to find the Westwood team that I knew and loved from the original Command and Conquer and Red Alert days. And now that's the game I'm probably going to be grinding away on for the next couple weeks.
Hey, don't forget that I think you can get the reboot or the remastered original StarCraft on Blizzard. Yeah. I think that might still be free. Actually.
So
it is free. I think
there were of those two teams. Like whenever there are different franchises in the same space, were you a StarCraft kid or were you a Command and Conquer? I was a Command and Conquer kid. I liked StarCraft.
Both, man. I love StarCraft.
Both,
I like
never hated on StarCraft, but I
love both. But I think I love Command and Conquer slightly more, just because by the time I got online, I didn't die as much. Since and
StarCraft players, they don't fuck around. Zerg Rush is a real threat. but then also for me, it was once we got into Red Alert and the cheese factor of those full motion video cutscenes.
Oh, those were nice.
They're so corny, but they're so fun.
Yeah, sorry guys, we are super dating ourselves here. This is
Forge Battalion. Forge Battalion. Not dating myself with this. This is just the nostalgia of a really tight engine, game developers that care about this style of gameplay, and the game's super cheap. So I can't recommend it enough. I'm having a blast with it. But guys, on that, I gotta bounce because I can hear them getting ready downstairs to go do Father's Day activities, and so I'm gonna head out.
All right, man. Enjoy. Happy Father's Day.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Have a good show.
All right.
Catch you later.
Cool. And on that note, we can switch over to some other topics. Netflix released its first trailer for Kiss Me First, a sci-fi gaming VR drama, which involves VR as well, I guess. I don't know if you guys checked out the trailer.
Yeah, no, I checked it out. It's an interesting take. It feels very much like Ready Player One.
Yeah.
But it does have a very different element to it, as in this is like a murder mystery versus like, it's like a Willy Wonka in the 21st century. That Ready Player One was. But at the end of the day, I personally think, if they can, I didn't quite get that this is also going to use VR in any way.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either because it kind of hints at it, but I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I'll watch it on the Oculus Go and see if that will, there's something else to it. But
it's a nice mix that they're going to be using both CGI and real characters in this movie. It'll be nice to see it. I think it would be, at least for the fans of stuff like that. For the fans of Ready Player One, I think they would really like it.
Yeah. The official 5G standard is officially here. Sorry, yes, used the official twice. But it looks like it's finalized, and because we have a lot of 5G stuff coming up, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint are gearing up for their 5G rollouts at the end of the year. So it looks like standards are all set across the board, which is nice. We don't have any confusion like 4G, where everybody was trying to do their own thing left and right. Even AT&T said they had 5G earlier this year. It looks like now they've kind of retracted and folded back to the main standard, because I personally am just tired of companies trying to, remember how Verizon had their 4G LTE plus? Was that? I can't remember.
They called it
Evo 4G LTE.
No, they called it XLT or something.
Yes, XLTs. Yeah, I'm like,
it was LTE Plus, but it was it wasn't LTE Plus. It was LTE Advanced.
It was LTE Advanced. Yeah,
and they called it that.
So I'm glad that
nobody noticed. It doesn't matter. Every 4G upgrade they did to 4G LTE, it was the most unnoticeable shit ever.
Yeah,
it was nothing.
Well, what I found out from talking to people at AT&T and T-Mobile, this is what they claimed anyway, but I guess it kind of makes sense, was because T-Mobile, when they first launched, when they started doing their big rollout and spending that money to expand their LTE, was doing it by pipeline. So basically Verizon was laying out 2 pipelines per area for their 4G LTE. T-Mobile was doing 4x4, aka getting themselves ready for 4x4 MIMO. When that eventually rolled out, so they had the bandwidth ready. Meanwhile, Verizon was the first. It was trying to be the first, and then they kind of lost that down the line. But anyway, that's all good. And final topic: OnePlus sells 1 million units in 22 days.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
I know. I mean, the device is solid. Plus, they've they've done a really good push on this device, so it seems like they're moving on, slowly trying to move on to the next level for what that brand can actually do. So that would be quite interesting.
I haven't had a chance to mess around with it yet, but it's nice to see that they're sort of getting up there. This is the 6th or 7th device they've put out. And now they're starting to make some moves on some numbers there. Yeah, I'd like to know what regions of the world they're selling that, which would be pretty interesting.
I can guarantee you half of that is India. I must tell you that much, because the Indian fan base, just from their fan base reaction alone, is huge, and the fact that they said they were expanding production for India. Before even they announced the OnePlus, they would say they were going to do that expansion this year. So that, to me, kind of points to that direction, that at least there it's and again, it kind of makes sense for that market. You're getting close to a high-end phone without spending higher money, if you want to actually spend more money on a device. So it definitely makes sense. Yeah, I think that's it. That's a final topic. Since you came in late, Warren, AT&T finalizes merger with Time Warner, $85 billion. What do you think?
It's interesting that they were able to get that deal done as big as they are, to not only have to be allowed to buy DirecTV with Time Warner, but wasn't allowed to buy Comcast. But Comcast wasn't allowed. It wasn't allowed to buy T-Mobile, but Comcast wasn't allowed to buy Time Warner. Time Warner when they made the first bid.
But they're not buying Time Warner. They're not buying Time Warner cable though. That's not part of this deal. This is strictly Warner Brothers entertainment, all the entertainment stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if that's the case, if that's what they're just doing that, and then this is them competing against Comcast, who also owns NBC. Mm-hmm. So it's just putting them in that place. It allows them to expand DirecTV a little bit more, especially DirecTV Now, to get more content, more stations, more things out there for it. So it'll be good in that regards. I think overall it's just it's a little bit of wait and see, because we're getting these companies buying up these other big media companies like this. Can make things leery when in terms of who's controlling all the content, but it also could be a thing where they got so much going on that they can't control everything, and they sort of lose track of what they're doing, or people are all doing different things as they sort of want to. But I think it'll be, like I said, I think it'll be interesting. I'm more on the wait and see. Let's see what happens. I don't really have a full.
Stankley from Bloomberg predicts that they're going to get HBO specifically will get a cash infusion, or at least increasing their budget of $2.5 billion. HBO spends $8 billion currently per year, so you're looking at almost 10.5 billion for HBO in terms of productions, because and I'm not surprised, because if AT&T is looking at it going, if you think about it, Amazon is spending a lot of money right now for shows. Netflix is spending a lot of money. We don't want people to forget that there's HBO. Yes, they're still there, but you want people to, keep watching and going that route. So that kind of cash infusion makes a lot of sense for that kind of property, to say, hey, look, go do what you do. Here's $2.5 billion. Make some.
And the showrunners for Game of Thrones are like, where were you when we needed to make realistic dragons? Where were you?
Yeah, you know how it is. Like, I forgot what it was. They were talking about budgets for HBO and said, I think season 3, when they had the attack on the castle and the wildfire, the first time we saw that, but the budget for that episode was $10 million. That was the first time they crossed the $10 million mark for that episode. And then when we saw the dragons fully, they just said that was expensive.
Yeah. It was either dragons or direwolves, and dragons won.
Yeah, they're like, choose one, direwolves or dragons, and they're like, but you can do both. Wolves, and they're like, you know how it is to do each strand of hair, hair mechanics. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how it. You're right, Warren. It'll be interesting how it turns out with all these companies down the line, especially with Fox saying that yes, they agreed to Disney's proposal, but the board is convening, I think, this week to see what Comcast offer.
threw them a good deal, man.
The Comcast offer is $65 million in cash.
And not just that.
Billion in cash, yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's not just that. It's also, they make, I think, $1.5 billion.
If it doesn't go through?
Doesn't go through. They also give them money for like litigation fees. There's like a ton of money out there.
Comcast is like.
I wonder if Comcast is rolling that out there. So, ooh, here we go. But it's also kind of like dick over Disney a bit. That mouse has got way more money than they do, and it's
but they gave 19% more on the offer. I think Disney was only like 40 something billion, and the mouse came in with 65 billion.
The mouse wants those Marvel things. He'll get his Marvel things back. That's what he wants.
The mouse would just be like, sell me all the Marvel stuff, give him everything else.
Yeah. Well, no, I think they'll either match it or come higher to it if they have to.
Yeah, but is the mouse offer, is that cash, or because I know there's stock in the mouse offer, which is not as enticing as when you just drop $65 billion in cash.
It all depends. The deal, the 52.4 billion is stock based, not 40 something.
Oh, it's all stock.
Yeah, it's stock based, meaning it's probably a mixture of stock. Probably more on the stock side.
Yeah.
It's
interesting. Sorry, go ahead, Warren.
I said it to be interesting. I'm wondering if this is just a play, like Comcast is putting it out there. They put out a realistic offer, but do they expect to get beat?
I think it's a mixture of both. They want it, but if they get beat at a higher price, they probably are fine.
Yeah,
it's something.
But the thing is, do you want to piss off Disney?
Yeah, you do.
In your right mind.
You do. You absolutely do if you're in the game right now, because let's just call it what it is. Disney right now is like, so I went to go see The Incredibles, and we're watching trailers, and there's a trailer for Winnie the Pooh, there's a trailer for Dumbo, this is like, and then I was sitting next to Remy. Remy was like, they have a trailer for this? I was like, every single Disney thing that there's gonna be a live action. Just call it what it is.
Well, they said that already. Yeah.
So companies are looking at Disney's making that hand over fist. Like, that is easy money for them. That's the easiest. Like, it doesn't have to make $1 billion, but it will make, say it makes $500-600 million in each of those movies. That's just something that's already made money that will keep making money for them. So if you're Comcast and you're going, what does NBC have in this catalog? But Fox has some stuff in this catalog you want to pick up, right? So you want as much franchise and properties that you can, make stuff of and make money down the line, which they don't have because NBC Universal doesn't have that much other than they tried to do the Monster Universe. That didn't work. That failed, right? So they don't have any.
Well, they didn't really. They tried with what, 2 movies?
Yeah, they tried the first Dracula movie, then they rebooted and tried with Tom Cruise and the Mummy, and that also didn't do well. So, yeah.
Well, it's just a dumb universe to start off to begin with. It's just a dumb, like, not everything can work as a universe, as a movie universe. It's not everything can do that, and that's something they probably need to understand. But it'll be interesting to see if they consider that offer too. What Disney offers as a counter offer, because I definitely think they will reply. This isn't gonna. They're not gonna sit here and catch a Drake and just let Comcast push it to him
and push out the Degrassi song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they won't. I mean, they will reply, and then it all depends on what that reply is, and then how it goes back and forth. But
it could be a thing where they offer more cash into their deal too. Like that could be where they term. It's like, well, we'll just give you more cash.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter as long as if the deal is still valued at, it's not higher than 65 billion. It's still less.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It can be a mixture, even if it's more cash. It's got to be 67 billion or 70 billion, whatever the amount is. So that's where it is, and all depends on. People are talking about maybe splitting it up. Disney, of course, will want all the Marvel stuff, but then again, Comcast wants that too, because that's a cash cow, and unless Comcast says, we take Simpsons and some of the other stuff that, like that they can push.
Well, they might want a lot of the. Fox has quite a bit of TV properties.
Yeah, TV properties on Fox is also pretty good.
That might be something that Comcast might want more of than the movie stuff, because they're not known for sitting, Universal is a studio that makes movies, but that's not I wouldn't say that's their bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say their TV is more or less that. And unless, they want to scoop in, we'll take this, and then it might make the deal easier if Disney goes in and says, all we really want is the Marvel properties back, and they can have everything else. And maybe we can make this pass a lot easier through Congress if these things are split this way.
I mean, that's true. But then again, like some exec at Comcast will go, wait. So then they will have a bigger Avengers than the last event. Like that's just what somebody would just go.
Yeah, but here's the thing: can you compete? But if you're gonna say that, if you say that in your mind, I'm gonna go say with the properties that Fox has, can we compete against the Avengers they have now?
No, I'm not saying that. Nobody's thinking about that, but they're saying that because somebody else in the room will back up and say, it may not be as big, but we can do something good with it, and we'll make okay, all right, we can. That's just the thinking. Yeah, I'm just saying that would be the thinking.
Real well with that over time,
and it would be hard to, because even if you want to give it up, you don't want to give Disney Disney X-Men back. You want to give them X-Men back where it hurts. They gotta pay. I mean, like if I want to give up X-Men, you have to pay for it. Like if I want to split it up.
Just remember, let them pay for it, hurt them, and then just remember they're gonna bitch slap you right on back with every property they come out with it.
I am fine with it, but I'm not gonna, like I'm saying, if you're thinking about it business wise, you're going like they have to pay more value for that. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna just split it in half and give them this. I may split it in half, and you still paying more. You're paying 40 billion, and I pay 20, 25, and take the TV property.
I mean that's fine. They could take the TV properties. The TV properties aren't worth as much. So why wouldn't they? The MC properties are worth more.
It depends.
It's worth more.
Sam is right. It depends though. Something like The Simpsons is worth a lot of money because of syndication and worldwide reach.
Yeah, but
that's a whole different case.
But they're also such an opposite thing for anything that Disney would do from terms of animation.
Yeah, exactly.
That I don't think they care about that. Like it's not they. Like
as long as they don't
make
PG-13, man.
Disney, it's a very non-Disney property for them.
Yeah, but if you think about it, with what Fox has, Disney has a legitimate. If Disney bought Fox, if the deal ends up going through, they have a legitimate adolescents, or like teenage, or should I say, animation that would attract teenagers and adults. Because you think about, they had what's it called? The spaceship one with Fry.
Like Futurama.
Futurama.
They fucked around with that so much.
They have American Dad. They have enough that could be kind of also risque. So they could create a whole other vehicle for people who don't want to go to Disney on those rides, people who want to go to something on the more adult theme. They could get you all the way from being in kindergarten all the way to being a grown-up. Disney is not just thinking about, what can we sell to kids or families? They're thinking about the whole gamut of things. And they would want that content as well.
But I'd worry that any animation that's attached to them in some property has their name on it, even if they called it Touchstone Animation. It's still like the tag is on them.
No, the tag is on them. But I think if I was going to be wise with Disney, I would keep the name Fox and really make Fox adult and say, hey, look, this is a very different entity. And then the problem is when you get to the problem comes down to Deadpool in my mind. That's just it, because all the X-Men can play nice. I mean, if you drop Deadpool down to PG-13, you've just lost half of that money that you've made.
No, I don't think they do that. If they bring Deadpool back into that situation, they'll start allowing an alternate universe to exist.
Yeah, they have to.
That he wouldn't necessarily. He might do. There might be a small cross in between where he appears and he's in and out of something, but that also doesn't stop them from doing rated R movies in the Marvel universe when they need to do it. Because they're getting past the point now where after Avengers 4 and whatever story they're going to tell in the future, they're going to start to have to add new things and new ways of telling stories that wasn't done prior to before to avoid that fatigue. So there could be some more edgier stuff.
There's got to be some Tony Stark drinking alcohol, man.
You already did that in 3 movies.
No. That's not. No, I'm talking about Tony Stark being a drunk.
Nah, he's not going to do. They're so past that in the universe now.
I would love to see Tony Stark as a drunkard, complete drunkard. Yeah, I know, I agree.
They're so past that. But what I'm essentially saying is that it's not that he couldn't fit into their ethos. It's just that they'd have to figure out how to create something in that universe in a way that's just like maybe a little bit more serious, a little bit more dark, a little bit more adult. That eventually all of them can.
All you have to do is in Avengers 4 or 5, the Fantastic Four open up a wormhole and come out and say they were trapped in this dangerous universe called Fox. And they're here to help the Avengers.
XOF.
What do you say?
Call it XOF universe.
XOF, yeah. Call it the XOF universe. And everybody's like, XOF. Oh shit, it's Fox. And then you see Deadpool trying to run in to enter, and then they close the wormhole.
Yeah. Oh god.
With his
no. They'd have Michael B. Jordan pulling back because Killmonger and Johnny Storm can't cross. So gotta remember that. Actually, that alone is probably the reason why they would complete.
You know what would have been awesome though if they actually had a scene with Captain America in that Black Panther movie. It would have been fun to say, Johnny Storm, meet the new Johnny Storm.
It's like,
yeah, that's true. Anyway, guys, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you very much. And we've got to that part of the show where we talk about what we have on our channels currently and what we can expect next week. So, Mr. Warren Bowman, start off with you. What do you currently have on your channel, and what can we expect next week?
Next week will be stuff from multiple events happening in the city of New York City.
All right. Okay.
There's any of those events NDA? I don't remember. I don't think any of them are.
Not really.
Not really. But there's like a few events going on at the end of the week. Yeah. Which we'll all be a part of and attending. And somebody will be celebrating their birthday apparently too. Apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Definitely. And Mr. Juan Bagnell, definitely go check out his channel. Some Gadget Guy. He's not here right now, but you can check out all his content. On my end, We had a bunch of things. We have 2 giveaways running right now. I'll leave the links for you guys. We've got one. Both of them are ending tomorrow. One is a Father's Day giveaway. We're giving away about $2,000 plus worth of stuff. So it's a cool chance to win Huawei Mate 10 Pro and Huawei Watch 2 from Huawei. We're giving away a second Huawei Mate 10 Pro, giving away a surprise package from B&H Photo. And then Colorware also donated a Colorware themed Nintendo Switch. And Hex brand is also offering a backpack that goes with the Switch as well. So a lot of cool prizes. And the second one is we're giving away 1 of 4 always connected PCs from Qualcomm. So enter into those giveaways. The links will be in the description. You've got 1 more day left to do that. We have our Honor 10 complete walkthrough, so definitely check that out, see the device. Our best games of E3, just a showcase of all the things we saw and we liked at the show. You can check out that video. And Daniel dropped his review of the Blue Pure View. It's a $130 phone. See how it actually stacks up. Next week, as Warren said, is a lot of stuff here from New York. I should be dropping also my Sony A8F OLED TV review sometime next week, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, so definitely subscribe to all the channels. Check out Mr. Warren Bowman at BW1.com. Subscribe to him there. Also follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out Mr. Juan Bagnell at Some Gadget Guy. It's Some Gadget Guy on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All social media is also on YouTube. And Mr. Sam, aka Black Iron _man, that is his Twitter handle. And myself, it is Boored at Work on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all over the internet, spelled with 2 O's. Thank you very much. Go watch Nigeria at 3 p.m. and always enjoy entertainment.
Very well.